Hey guys, Lady Lee here, and in this video I want to show you how I freeze carrots. Okay, those are store-bought carrots. My carrots that are in the garden are not ready yet, but they will be soon, and I'll have a bazillion of carrots, and I don't have room in the fridge for all of them. I also don't have a root cellar. This is a great root crop to just, preserve in just as it is in the right temperature. If you have a root cellar, if you have a basement that stays cold, about 40-45 degrees, then you can just put them in big beans with I think they use straw or even potting soil, and stick the carrots inside and store them in a root cellar. But I don't have a root cellar, and I don't have a basement too, and I don't have a lot of room in the refrigerator to keep them like this for a long time. I don't like to can my carrots because they become really soft, and I prefer that they stay firm, so when I cook with them, then they kind of soften with the other vegetables or the meat or whatever I'm cooking and get all the flavors of everything. If I can them, they just become too soft for me. So if I need to preserve carrots, I prefer to freeze them. Now, I will freeze them, just cut to pieces this time, but I will link below to a post on the blog, also a step-by-step tutorial of what we're going to do in this video, but also I sometimes freeze them shredded. So freezing shredded carrots is also really easy, and it's the same process that we're doing here, and I do that because I love carrot cake, and when I freeze them shredded, they're ready for me to just make carrot cake whenever I want. But today we're just going to do those 3 carrots just so I can show you how it's done. We're gonna blanch them, and let's talk about what's blanching. So, what is blanching? Blanching is a really simple process of cooking our vegetables before freezing in boiling water for 3 minutes. Okay, you can see that I have a pot of water that is heating up on the stove. I want to bring that to a boil, and I also have a bowl of cold water right next to it. When I'm cooking my carrots, blanching my carrots in the boiling water, I'm going to go ahead and add some ice here, so this will be an ice bath. We blanch the vegetables to pretty much preserve them for a longer time. So the blanching, the hot water kind of stops the enzymes that cause the loss of taste and the loss of color if you're blanching potatoes, or if you want to freeze potatoes, if you put them in the freezer just like that, they're kind of become brown. Doesn't happen with carrots, but blanching before we freeze really preserves the taste and the color and all of the nutrients and the value of our vegetables, and it's kind of helping to extend their fresh life a little longer. It also doesn't soften them, they still stay fresh or firm, which is as they are when they are fresh, and I love that piece of benefit because I don't like my vegetables to become soft while I preserve them. So really, you can, if you want, just stick the freezer, or peel them, cut them, and stick them in the freezer. If you do that and you skip the blanching, I would say use your vegetables or use your carrots within a couple of months. But if you're planning on preserving and freezing your carrots for months, longer than a couple of months, then go ahead and blanch them. It will really help keep them fresh and tasty and firm, and keep their color for much longer in the freezer. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to do is peel my carrots. You don't have to do it, you can just wash them really well, but I prefer peeling them. And then I cut the bottom and the top, and I don't use that. just cut the bottom and the top of all of them. And I always suggest that you don't do too many vegetables at the same time. Just do batches, because then it's easier to manage the blanching in the hot water and the whole process. So now after I cut the bottom, the two ends, I'm just gonna cut them into pieces. You can cut them however you want, you just don't want the pieces to be too thick. So that's what I'm doing here. I'll do the other two and then we will put them in the boiling water. Okay, my water is boiling, so I'm just gonna scoop my carrots in my big spoon here and put them into the water. The water might stop boiling, but that's fine. I'm gonna let them hang in here for about 3 minutes. I'm gonna add some ice to the cold water here. And after 3 minutes, we're going to move the carrots from the boiling water to the cold ice bath, and that will ensure that the cooking stops and our vegetables stay firm and don't keep softening and cooking. Okay, it's been 3 minutes, so I'm just gonna scoop all of my carrots and put them right in the cold water. Don't need this anymore. Alright, now I'm gonna let my carrots cool completely for a few minutes, and I set kitchen towel here on the counter, and I will move my carrots from the cold water after a few minutes to the kitchen towel to dry. Okay, you guys, I scooped all of my carrots from the cold ice water bath onto a kitchen towel, and I'm just gonna dry them the best I can, just like that. They won't be completely dry, but that's fine. I'll show you a neat trick in a minute. Okay, now it's time to pack them. So I always use a vacuum sealer when I pack my carrots for freezing. I have my sleeve here. I got all this on Amazon, and I will link below to the post that shows this process step by step in a picture tutorial, and you have all the links to all of that, those products over there. So I place the end of my bag into the sealer, and I just seal it to close the bottom part. Meanwhile, I can go ahead and cut my sleeve here. All right. Okay, so now this is sealed here on the bottom, and I can put my carrots in there. You can measure your carrots, so you can, you know, put them in a measuring cup and measure them, and then write on the bag if you have 2 cups in here or 1 cup. It helps later when you have to use a certain amount in recipes, kind of help knowing how much you have in each bag. All right, so once my carrots are in a bag, let me show you a neat trick. There is still a lot of moisture in the carrots, and if you let the vacuum sealer just seal the bag like this, all of the moisture is gonna come up, and it won't seal properly, and it won't stay vacuum. The vacuum won't hold in the freezer for long. So what you do is you take a couple of paper towels, or, you know, half a sheet of paper towel. So I took 2, and I fold them like this, and I stick them inside of the bag, a little bit over the carrots, just like that, okay? And then when I seal the bag, all the moisture will come and kind of collect into the paper bag and won't get to the top where the sealer is going to seal the bag. And that is a way to help your bag stay sealed for a longer period of time in the freezer. Just works well. So let me vacuum it. And that's it. We have our bag of carrots. I'm just gonna write here carrots, because sometimes, believe it or not, it is hard to figure out what's in bags in the freezer. So even though it looks kind of obvious right now, it might not when it's frozen. Here we go, guys. This is how I freeze my carrots in vacuum bags in the freezer. My rule is to use all of my frozen or preserved or canned vegetables and fruit, everything that I preserve within a year. So I would say this can stay in the freezer like this for a year. You can use it anytime you're cooking, whatever calls for carrots, you can just use your carrots. I do the same thing with shredded carrots and put 2 cups in a bag like this, and then they are ready for me when I want to make carrot cake. So that's how I freeze my carrots. Again, I will link below to the step-by-step picture tutorial on the blog where you can find all the instructions written and the recipe card too if you want to print it out. And I hope this video helped you. Please subscribe and like. And comment below, tell me if you are doing this the same way. I will see you in the next video. Bye.